My name is Daniel Pickett. I'm one of the guys that runs actionfigureinsider.com. And this panel is something that, for those of you that have been with following like Toy Biz and that sort of thing for a long time, this is sort of a bittersweet moment. I've been buddies with these guys for quite some time, and actually, Jesse is kind of the reason that I'm doing what I do today, writing about action figures and stuff. He was one of the guys that gave me my first sort of scoop on things and got people excited, and it was that initial Marvel Legends wave. And we're going to talk a little bit about the history. We're going to look at some stuff that we've never seen before. We're going to look at some things that were planned that did not happen, and hopefully we're not going to get too emotional. But it is kind of an emotional thing, because the really interesting thing, you know, the last sort of projects of Toy Biz and Marvel Toys was the Marvel Legends line, and then going into the Legendary Heroes line. And the really interesting thing about these waves of toys is these guys, they're all great friends, and they all love what they do. And they live it, they breathe it, and they bleed it. And this was a dream job for all of them. And having talked with all of them individually, there is sort of a sense of loss on this, that they are not sort of as much a part of it or a part of it at all anymore. And I just feel like it's sort of worth recognizing the sort of innovation that these guys did. And you know, it's a brave company that sort of lets these guys go nuts and make whatever they want. And there's not a lot of, you know, there's a lot of the sort of larger companies don't want to sort of step out. And these guys really innovated some things that to date have not been able to really be replicated fully. So I'm supposed to be aware that there are audience members that are under 18 of age. So just so you guys know here, it says it on the back of my placard to remind that. So if you're under 18 years of age, I apologize, because this will be full of swearing. So, okay! All right. So, first of all, I want these guys to introduce themselves, because they did not create placards for them, and tell us who you are and what you did. And Eddie, you're not paying attention. Eddie, because you're first.
But Jesse's actually first.
Oh, Jesse's going to be first? Okay. So who you are, what you did, and at what point in sort of Toy Biz Marvel's life you came into the company?
My name is Jesse Falcon, and I started working. Thank you. I started working for Toy Biz in 1993. I was the assistant to the creative director, and I've been there ever since. So, and well, now it's that company is now Marvel. Toy Biz bought Marvel out of bankruptcy and kind of folded their workforce into Marvel. So now I work for Marvel.
I'm Steve Kiewis. I'm a sculptor. I've been working with Toy Biz since 1991, so I've been there the longest. You?
Damon, the other guy at Toy Biz.
And how long have you been there, Damon?
I've been there since 95.
Okay.
Eddie Wires. I'm a prototype painter. I guess I started working with Jesse and Damon and the rest of the guys in 1998. And yeah, I guess it's been 10 years, and I just kept pestering till they finally started giving me some work. So I would go away and shut up, but then they loved what I did, so now they can't get rid of me.
So most of you remember Toy Biz, sort of the first superhero product that we all remember was 1989. They started doing some stuff for the first Batman movie, the Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson Batman movie. And then they segued that into some DC Comics figures that looked sort of vaguely superpowers-ish. And then they followed that the next year. They started the Marvel Superheroes line, which was a 5-inch line. And that was, you know, sort of the first stuff we had gotten since Secret Wars, which was almost 10 years before. And then they started an X-Men line, and we had never gotten X-Men toys before. And, by today's standards, they look a little hinky. But back in the day, for those of us that walked into KB and found that Wolverine, that his mask was like a little ring, and we had a Cyclops that you could push a button on his back and like his visor lit up, it was really exciting stuff. And it was cool because, that was the first time we were seeing most of those characters in plastic. And from there, they went into the Spider-Man line that was based on the animated series. And they made like 1 billion 5-inch figures. And it was a universe, the likes of which most of us had never seen in plastic. And they made a lot of those. And they segued it into a lot of different lineups and 2-packs and, Arch Nemesis things and Generation X and X-Force. And we bought them all. And then they started looking back. I guess it was, when did Legends start? It was about
About around 2000.
Yeah.
Around 2000.
And Jesse showed up at Comic-Con with a Hulk figure in a glass case. And he just stood at a table with his Hulk figure saying, this is where we're going. And from there, we got a lot more figures. And this was the first time we'd seen like these sort of super articulated figures from a U.S. company. And they just continued to innovate and build and create. So Jesse, can you talk a little bit about that transition? Because a lot of you guys worked on the 5-inch line too, and the decision-making process to go into that sort of 6-inch